Welcome back to another episode of Fisticuff Central, and today we are doing the Magny versus Prates post-show, which took place at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. So, what a fun fight this was while it lasted, right? Didn't last too long. Prates, what can you say? The guy is an absolute stud. So much power. He doesn't really need that much wind up to generate a lot of power. Like I made the comparison to Pereira. I think in his hands, I honestly now believe it's a fair comparison. I question myself, but especially after watching that. After the Li Jingliang fight, I was kind of sold on this dude, to be honest. But that just confirmed it. Magny's a tough dude. Not a lot of people finish Magny. Mike Malott, Ian Gary, Mike Malott ended up getting finished himself. Ian Gary, who pieced him up, you couldn't get him out of there. But the actual knockout power of Prates is something to marvel at, that's for sure. And the call out as well, Jack Della Maddalena and Jeff Neal. Honestly, I think those are good matchups for him. He's not calling out, somebody, Colby Covington or someone, even though we don't know where Colby's at. He didn't look great in his last fight. But anyway, he's not calling out, any wrestlers. Those two fights are very winnable fights for him. The odds makers could even have him as a favourite potentially. I'm not probably against Jeff Neal, against Jack Della Maddalena, I'm not 100% sure, but wouldn't surprise me if he was a favourite in that one, just because of the stylistic matchup that those two would have, right? And for Neil Magny, on the other hand, he's kind of been in this position before. He'll probably dust himself off, go out again. He's 37 years of age now, so it wouldn't surprise me if we start to see a drop in competition. He has hung around that top 15 for a real long time and is a veteran, over 30 fights in the UFC. Nothing but respect for Neil Magny, and he can still beat a lot of dudes out there. And he might become, rather than the guy that gets you in the top 15, he might be someone that you fight and then you need one more win to get into the top 15. We'll see. Depends how far he drops, because he was ranked 15th last night. He currently will be 2, but it won't become Tuesday when the new UFC rankings come out, right? So, unfortunately for Magny, I don't ever see him getting anywhere near a title. He's too old now. I think that Gilbert Burns fight, if he'd have won that one a few years back, then we could have maybe seen him challenge for the title. If he would have got like a spectacular finish over Burns, potentially, right? I think that ship has sailed, unfortunately. For Prates, where is the ceiling? We don't know. Magny wasn't able to take him down, and he was quite relentless in his wrestling approach at times. And, he showed good takedown defense like he has done previously. So, if he can keep it on the feet, he can bang with the best of them, right? Against fighters like Ian Gary as well, and, Michael Venom Page, those would be some really interesting matchups. So it's not just those, Jack Della Maddalena and Jeff Neal. There's a lot of interesting matchups for him within that top 15, and I'm excited to see what Prates does, because, that guy's exciting. Who doesn't like a fucking knockout artist, right? So, yeah, that pretty much covers it. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your evening. Roll on the fucking week, guys. Peace out.